have blacks been pitted against Asians?
We need the black community to realize that the that black people are hurting Asians, and they need to speak out in their own community.
Law enforcement officials swarmed and entered a white van Sunday afternoon that officials suspect was driven by a G-man who opened fire on a Southern California ballroom dance studio, erasing 10 people and wounding 10 more. Police surrounded the van with tactical vehicles and bomb squad trucks for hours before going in. A person's body appeared to be slumped over the wheel, but authorities did not immediately identify the person in the van. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna previously released photos of an Asian man who was believed to be the suspect, but he did not release the man's name. The manhunt came after a G-man erased 10 people at a ballroom dance studio late Saturday Lunar New Year's celebrations in the predominantly Asian American community of Monterey Park. He likely tried and failed to target a second dance hall, authorities said. The van was found in Torrance, another community home to many Asian Americans, about 22 miles from that second location. The shooting sent a wave of fear through Asian American communities in the Los Angeles area and cast a shadow over Lunar New Year festivities around the country. Other cities sent extra officers to watch over the celebrations. Luna said the shooting at the Star Ballroom Dance Studio in Monterey Park left 5 women and 5 men erased and wounded another 10 people. Then 20 to 30 minutes later, a man with a gun entered the Lai Ballroom in nearby Alhambra. Authorities believe the two events are connected. They offered no details about a possible motive. The suspect entered the Alhambra club with a gun, and people wrested the weapon away from him before he fled, Luna said. Hours earlier, Luna said authorities were looking for a white van after witnesses reported seeing the suspect flee from Alhambra in such a vehicle. We believe there is a person inside of that vehicle. We don't know their condition, but we're going to handle that in safest manner that we possibly can and try and identify that person. Could it be our suspect? Possibly, Luna said. In response to a question, Luna said it was possible that the person barricaded in van was dead. Members of a SWAT team entered the van a short time later and looked through its contents before walking away. It was unclear what they found. Authorities said Sunday they know the suspect's name but declined to release it because it could complicate their ability to apprehend him. But they did release a photo showing an Asian man wearing glasses and a winter hat. The sheriff declined to say what type of gun was recovered in Alhambra. He said investigators believe the gun used in Monterey Park was not an assault rifle. Monterey Park is a city of about 60,000 people on the eastern edge of Los Angeles and is composed mostly of Asian immigrants from China or first-generation Asian Americans. The shooting happened in the heart of its downtown where red lanterns decorated the streets for the Lunar New Year festivities. A police car was parked near a large banner that proclaimed Happy Year of the Rabbit. The celebration in Monterey Park is one of California's largest. 2 days of festivities, which have been attended by as many as 100,000 people in past years, were planned, but officials canceled Sunday's events following the shooting. Tony Lai, 35, of Monterey Park was stunned when he came out for his early morning walk to learn that the noises he heard in the night were gunshots. I thought maybe it was fireworks. I thought maybe it had something to do with Lunar New Year, he said. And we don't even get a lot of fireworks here. It's weird to see this. It's really safe here. We're right in the middle of the city, but it's really safe. Wen Liao, 57, who lives about 2 blocks from the Monterey Park studio, said she was shocked that such a crime would happen, especially during New Year's celebrations. Chinese people, they consider Chinese New Year very, very special, a time when you don't do anything that will bring bad luck the entire year, she said. She took a picture of the activity outside the studio to send to relatives and friends in China to let them know how crazy the US is becoming with all these mass shootings, even in the new year. The shooting occurred at Star Ballroom Dance Studio, a few blocks from City Hall on Monterey Park's main thoroughfare of Garvey Avenue, which is dotted with strip malls of small businesses whose signs are in both English and Chinese. Cantonese and Mandarin are both widely spoken. Chinese holidays are celebrated and Chinese films are screened regularly in the city. So, you mean to tell me that this wasn't a black man? I thought that I could have sworn. Somebody refresh my memory. Somebody let me know if I'm mistaken. I could have sworn that during the times of the pandemic, and I'm talking about specifically during those times, right? They made sure that the face of a lot of this that is going on is only and specifically black people. Well, better yet, black men. Doesn't matter if it was a young black boy or a teenager or just a youthful black man or older black man. They made sure that it was somebody that is reflective of that, and that's specifically what they made sure to put on television, in the newspapers, on blogs, pretty much anywhere that you can see and hear and read information about the Asian community. And here we have a model minority, a citizen, right? Deciding that he wanted to go into his own community and to commit such a heinous atrocity, such a crime amongst his own people. For what reason? And the most amazing thing is they didn't give a motive. They didn't say that they were even looking for or searching for a motive. They just said, hey, it happened. This is the person. This is what he basically had. He barricaded himself directly, inside of the van, whatnot, whatever. And more than likely, he's no longer here with us on this plane of existence. It's a little bit odd. What reason? What was he actually? I want to know what specifically was he going through that he decided that he needed to take whatever that was internal, and he needed to have people within his community around him, people that look exactly like him, feel that pain, feel that type of trauma. I wonder what it was. I wonder what it was. And the most interesting thing, like I've told you guys before, is that, when things like this take place, they don't really try to publicize it. They don't really try to talk about it. They pretty much sweep it directly under the rug.
Our communities are not reporting these incidences. We don't want to cause more trouble, more attention to our community.
And the most interesting part is, whenever I happen to cover these stories, I'll have, a few or maybe one person that'll show up, and they always want to decide to leave in the comment section. They want to try to leave a link to whatever it is that they found that a black person did against somebody who is Asian American. And to me, I feel like that is a disservice to the injustice that is directly going on when specifically speaking on this story. That is specifically telling me the same things that I've been telling other people, which is the fact that if you have Asian Americans doing things to other Asian Americans, even their own people don't care. They're going to deflect. The social justice warriors, the ones that are, directly protesting, marching with them, they're going to do the exact same things as well. They're not going to focus on specifically what it is that is happening in that community. They're not going to try to find an elixir or a cure-all, right, for that community, but they're going to make sure to focus on what everybody else is supposedly doing or what a few variables have done. And those few variables are not a whole representation of the black community, but for whatever reason, they want to make it seem as though that they are. And not only do they do it, but you also have people from other communities. You have the news and, wherever else that, information is put directly forth. And again, I'm just going to repeat that that is a disservice to the people that are being spoken about in the story, who the topic is specifically about. It's a disservice to those who have lost loved ones, lost their lives, to those who have been injured in incidences such as this. So so again, to those out there that like to do that consistently every single time I, cover one of these stories, you might want to check who it is that you specifically, realistically, actually care about. Do you actually care about the people in your community, or do you just want to deflect and focus on something else because it's a lot easier? And then you have the other aspect, yet again, of the model.
I don't know. I don't understand why everybody's so hurt about like being described as a model minority. For me, it's like, well, I want to be the best. I want to be the smartest. I want to be the toughest.
And that's clear cut what this American was. He was the toughest out of his whole community. He decided to take out all his pain, all of his anger, all of his frustration out on his own people, and then to turn around and get taken out by his gods. That's clear cut what happened. I guess those were the only ones that were able to stop him because his own people were in such fear, stricken with, such sadness and grief that they didn't know what specifically exactly to do. They didn't know how it is that they should specifically respond. And the main thing that I've stated to a variety of people out here is the best way that you can respond is by being able to protect yourself, being armed. Because I'm pretty sure that if those Asian Americans in that community were armed and they were prepared and they were able to protect themselves, I'm pretty sure there would have been a lot less loss of life when it came to specifically what it is that this man decided to do that fateful day, ruining everybody's festivities because of how he felt internally, due to the fact that he could not face whatever it was on the inside. He thought it was just a better option to allow other people to face it and to have other people deal with it and take him out.